Who's the master? 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 I think it's Frogz, Master 595. Yes, that's right. It's Frogz, Master 595.
Why, hello everyone, this is Frogz Master. What you are seeing here is, in fact, the last episode to this series, I guess you could call it. I call it a series now only because I made a playlist for it, because I've been making all those playlists, if you guys haven't noticed. If you haven't, you should go look at them. They're pretty cool, I would say. This is the last video talking about the Frogz show because I'm just going to say this now, spoilers, I'm not saying anything more than that. The Frogz show is done. Completely done. No joke. No questions. No theories. No Easter eggs. I don't know what that loud thump was, but you guys could probably hear it. The Frogz show is done. You might be thinking there'll be something else in a few months, or something else in 1 month, or something in 2 weeks. But no, it's over. And trust me, for those of you who did watch the ending, those very few, well, you would know that that was it. So, this video, I could talk about what happened in Season X and Season End, and I will a little bit, but it's going to be more about something else. So, Season X. I do not want to make this go too long. I also don't want to make this video long, because I know how long some of these talking about Frogz show videos can be. It's pretty much just Maybelle and the few that are left. You got Triggered and Green, yeah. That's it, actually. It's just those three. Just those three left. And they just keep on trucking. You got King Pig and his dad. And you got King Pig's old OG minions. You got all the other villains. You got the Yoshis. They're just fighting. And then you got King Pig and his dad's very toxic feud, of course. And all those epic musics that I used, right? Yeah. That's all Season X is. There is something a little bit special. You see Dino Piranha. And then Rinya dies at the end of Season X. Oof. So then there's Season End. What's that? Well, it's just Maybelle and Triggered. And that's it. It's just Maybelle and Triggered. At times I just forget because, like I said, when I did all the filming for all this stuff, this was in the Missouri house, and I was doing all the filming for this. There was a noise. That was just when I was pre-recording so much stuff. It is hard to remember, but at the end of Season X, those villains did die. Not King Pig or his dad. All the others did. Most, actually. There were a couple. For Season End, there was still Bart. There was Pink Yoshi. Dino Piranha had died. There was still King Pig's OG minions. 3 of them. King Pig and his dad. Bart and Pink Yoshi would go down. But that feud was still going on with the 2 pigs. Maybelle and Triggered were still surviving. And then the Extraterrestrial Tarmax came in. I still love that name that I came up with. I still think it sounds powerful. If you don't think so, then that is a-okay, but I think it sounds very powerful. Acroternial Tarmax. I think it sounds cool. Yeah. So there was that powerful weapon. King Pig's dad had got hold of that. But then King Pig, let's just say, used that thing on his dad, and then, well, rip dad. Maybell triggered King Pig, the 3 OG minions, that's all that's left. King Pig realizes that his dad actually made the Acroternial Tarmax a little bit threatening for all the people that were left, including King Pig himself, because King Pig's dad was like that. And, well, you know what happened in the end for the few. The very few. They could not do it. And they watched the sunset. But Triggered could not see the sunset because, well, Triggered died too. Yeah, him. He went old Triggered. Triggered. Very good frog. You know, they weren't watching the sunset, they were watching the sunrise, which is more original than sunset, wouldn't you say? And then I got that music going in there, Never Say Goodbye. Hope me saying that doesn't affect anything. That's it. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. Because if you want to watch it, then you can. No more jokes with these videos about the whole no one's watching the Frog Show, and, you know, and then I say the Frog Show, and then I go, no. I know a lot of people that do not care about the Frog Show in any way, and even some that wonder why it exists. And you know, I do like it. Now, it's because of the stories that I came up with it and the characters. It has nothing to do with that I use the Gemmy items for it. It has nothing to do with the other plush stuff. Because here's the thing. Maybe some would say that how come it wasn't just animated? Well, I can't draw crap. It's very true. I know I've shown some of my drawing stuff on here, but it's not good. And even if some thought it was okay, it's not good enough for something like the Frog Show, especially when the videos were that long. That would take so much work. That would make it so much harder. Now, I know that people would probably be okay with something taking a really long time to be made, but then end up being really good. But, you know, I just can't draw, period. It doesn't really matter. You know? Plus, I don't think that's fun enough of a thing for me. So I just made it with the Gemmy stuff and whatever else, some plush stuff. And, you know, it's called the Frog Show, so use frogs for it. But again, could have drawn those frogs, but you already know. Yeah, you know, many say that the Frog Show went way too long. I know of people. I do know of some people. And it wasn't going to go nearly as long as what it did. But I just thought of other ideas that I wanted to do for seasons, and I just continued it. Originally, it was just going to be those 50 episodes and that was going to be it. But I just thought of other things I wanted to do. Plus, the Frogz Show Season 1 was actually, I would, for the subs that I had then, which was way back in February 2017, that was quite a while ago. That was over 3 years ago when it started. Back then, with the subs that I had, I would say that Season 1 was successful. It actually got views. People actually watched that one, unlike all the other ones, really. If it had ended there, that would have made it a more watched thing. Especially since all of those episodes in Season 1 were not even anything longer than 10 minutes. You could actually get through that pretty quick. But, of course, it continued. But, there's a lot of characters that I made that I really liked. Any regrets? Well, here's a huge one. Episodes could have been a lot shorter, which eventually later on, if you would check the running times, I would try to get them a lot shorter. Now, with things like Season X, Season N, that's different, but, they're that long on purpose, clearly. Other regrets. I guess I just could have done more with, just some of the other frogs. That's one thing. It's called the Frogz Show, but you don't see the frogs a whole lot. It's more of Maybell and the others. Not really any other regrets, though, I would think. I guess there could have not been as many seasons, but again, I thought of things in my mind. And, there is another thing with the Frogz Show that I hear people say, and that would be with the, for how long some of the episodes are. With those last ones, really, another reason for why they're that long, and another reason for why I think the Frogz Show is good, in my opinion, and important, is because those are the last videos that have that house in Missouri. I do remember my older house from Missouri, but I don't have any videos of it at all. At least none that were mine. Now, with the other Hollister house, well, maybe you could figure something out now, because I just let it slip. I don't care. That house, the newer one, with the Frogz Show, all of those episodes were filmed there. And all those are on YouTube, so I have all those memories to look back on of the house. Not the characters or the items or whatever you want to say. And I don't know if any of you were thinking this, probably not, but with the Frogz Show Season 12 and X End, there was a lot of stuff that was shot downstairs. And where I would just have the camera going everywhere down there. Again, it's just so I can remember all that, because that was a really good house. It was an amazing house. I want to be able to look back on it, and I think that's a good way with the Frogz Show, because you really can just see every single angle with it because of all those crazy fights where the phone is just following whatever character it is everywhere, you know. Plus, you got that music going in there, and it just helps. There's times now where I think about some of those rooms in that house, and I think of that music from the Frog Show. I'm not joking. I am not. I'm going to make this video about 18 minutes long. That's not too bad. It's not crazy. This is the last one anyway. There's not going to be another video like this. And look, this is the only one where there's no Gemmy items present. It's just this weird little thing that you're seeing here. Oh, look, it's the V2. Remember him from the Frog Show? There he is. He's working now, but we never saw him working in the Frog Show. And boy, he passed a long time ago. Wow. Almost 3 years, geez. As you can see, the Frog Show has much more of a meaning. It's more about the house it was filmed in rather than itself. So at least you know that. And to me, that's the most important thing about the Frog Show. Not the characters, not even the stories that I did for it, but the house. That one you probably would not expect. So, you know, no Frog Shows done in this house. Although I will say there was one little scene that was like very short, like 8 seconds long. It was actually the second to last scene in the Frog Show completely, where I did have to film it here because the original clip got deleted by someone who shall be unnamed. And that was very annoying. And, you know, you can kind of tell that it's not in the same location, but whatever. Literally nothing you can do about that. The Frog Show. What was it? I think it was good for many reasons. And I know that is a very unpopular opinion. But if you're still thinking, maybe, even though it's such a different thing from my channel, even though I have no other videos like it, and that most Gemmy collectors don't do anything like that, maybe you can think about just looking, just seeing if it will be right for you. Well, that's all I'm going to say. It's time for me to prepare a certain thing that you will see tomorrow. And boy, this is getting uploaded late. Alright. Thanks for listening to me talk about the Frog Show for these few years. Peace.